This episode of Days of Our Lives is built like a slow, tightening vice. Every storyline adds another layer of pressure, and by the end, it feels clear that nothing and no one connected to E.J. DiMera's disappearance is safe anymore. The episode isn't just about individual moments, it's about how fear, guilt, and truth collide when secrets start slipping through cracks that can't be sealed. Johnny DiMera's emotional arc is at the heart of the episode. Johnny has spent a long time convincing himself that cutting E.J. out of his life was the healthiest choice, and in many ways, it still is. E.J. has hurt him deeply, manipulated situations, and crossed lines that left lasting scars. But E.J. vanishing without explanation forces Johnny to confront something he's been avoiding. Anger doesn't erase love. Johnny's confession to Chanel isn't dramatic or impulsive. It's heavy, controlled, and painful. He's scared not just of losing his father but of never getting closure. If E.J. is gone forever, Johnny knows he'll be left carrying unresolved emotions for the rest of his life. Chanel Dupree DiMera becomes Johnny's emotional refuge. She listens instead of fixing, comforts instead of judging. Chanel understands that Johnny isn't asking for forgiveness for E.J. He's grieving the uncertainty. Her support helps Johnny stay grounded when his thoughts start spiraling toward worst-case scenarios. Paulina Price's involvement adds a generational perspective. Paulina reminds Johnny that family relationships are rarely clean or simple, and that caring about E.J. doesn't mean Johnny has betrayed himself or ignored past harm. These moments reinforce that Johnny isn't weak for feeling this way, he's human. Johnny's decision to immerse himself in the Gala footage project is both practical and symbolic. On the surface, it gives him something productive to focus on. Underneath, it ties him even closer to the mystery surrounding E.J. Leo Stark isn't motivated by curiosity alone. He senses a story that could expose power, manipulation, and hidden alliances. His interest in E.J.'s connection to Gwen von Leuschner suggests there's more to E.J.'s disappearance than anyone has admitted. Gwen's reaction confirms this. Her attempts to intimidate Leo in the town square aren't subtle, they're desperate. The presence of Javi Hernandez during this confrontation adds tension, because Gwen knows witnesses complicate threats. Still, Leo refuses to back down, making it clear that fear will no longer control him. Gabi Hernandez's storyline is driven by emotional overload. She is living in constant contradiction, deeply involved with Philip Kiriakis while hiding the truth that she helped destroy something he cared about. Gabi tells herself she acted out of survival, that business decisions shouldn't define personal relationships, but her conscience doesn't agree. Every loving moment with Philip increases her guilt, and that guilt has nowhere to go. When Javi pushes her, intentionally or not, he touches the raw nerve she's been trying to protect. Her anger erupts not because of Javi alone, but because he forces her to face the inevitability of exposure. Gabi knows this lie won't stay buried, and the fear of losing Philip fuels her rage. The investigation storyline grows darker and more dangerous. Rafe Hernandez and Kat Green are united by their goal but divided by trust and method. Their arguments reflect how close they are getting to the truth. Tension increases when answers are within reach. Rita Leslie's hospital interrogation is a key moment. Her vague responses and controlled demeanor suggest someone who knows far more than she's saying. Rafe's decision to confront Rita alone at the DiMera mansion shows how personal this case has become for him. He's no longer just doing his job, he's following instinct, and that instinct tells him something terrible is being hidden in plain sight. All of this tension converges in E.J.'s secret laboratory, where Dr. Wilhelm Rolf once again proves that chaos follows him everywhere. Rolf's mess isn't just physical, it's structural. His experiments create instability, fear, and exposure. Mark Green, who once believed he could handle whatever he was involved in, finally understands the reality. He isn't in control. He's a pawn in a much larger, far more dangerous game. Rolf's recklessness pushes Mark to the edge, making him question his loyalty and his survival. That fear becomes overwhelming when Rafe shows up at the lab, pounding on the door and demanding FBI access. This moment represents the collapse of secrecy. Law enforcement is no longer circling from a distance, it's standing at the door. Mark's crisis is immediate and brutal. If he opens the door, everything unravels. If he refuses, the consequences could be catastrophic. There's no safe choice left. This episode is ultimately about consequences catching up with everyone. Johnny confronts emotional truth he can no longer deny. Chanel and Paulina stand as emotional anchors in a world spiraling toward chaos. Gabi's buried guilt explodes into anger that threatens to destroy her relationship. Gwen's fear exposes how much she has to lose. Rafe's determination places him directly in harm's way. And Dr. Rolf's interference accelerates the collapse of every secret connected to EJ. The walls are closing in, alliances are cracking, and the past is demanding answers. Whatever is hidden in EJ's world, in his lab, in his alliances, and in his disappearance, is no longer safe. The fallout won't be contained, and when the truth finally breaks free, it's going to change everything.